What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, coming at you today from the studio out here. And man, as you can see right here on the table, I got a plethora. That's a big word, everybody. A plethora of knives. And what I'm doing today, man, is I'm just going to kind of go over my big boy choppers. These are all big ass blades. They're made for chopping. They're made for cutting, destruction, whatever you want to say. But I kind of wanted to just show off a bunch of them, kind of maybe hold some of them up, compare them size to size. And, let's just talk about big blades for a little bit, maybe maybe you're in the market for a big blade and you're kind of not sure what you're looking for. Maybe you just really like them. I just really love them. I think they're great tools. They're so much fun to use and put them out there. And I mean, they're great for a myriad of tasks, right? I think I've done videos on pretty much all of these with the exception of one, and I feel bad for it because I used the shit out of this knife, and I don't know why I haven't done a video on it, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But first off, cheers. This is not alcohol, it's a soda, but hey, cheers. Gotta wet my whistle. It's like 95 degrees right now. It's hot. So if you hear a little buzzing in the background, that's my AC. Kind of didn't think about that when I put this here, that the AC was going to be kicking on. But hey, let's get to it. So we got so many knives here on the table. I don't know where to start. Okay, I do think I know where I'm going to start at. And these, I would actually even classify these. These are big blades. They're almost a cross between a machete and literally a short sword. Okay, so let's get into these because these are a little bit on the odd side. I mean, they're larger than some of these other knives, but again, they're longer than some of these choppers, but they're thicker than a machete. So, first off, let's get at it right here. This is the Gallantry from the Survival University. Condor knife and tool made this bad boy. I have a full video on this, and man, this thing is wicked quick, fun. I mean, it chops and slices. I mean, it's just a nice tool to have in your toolbox. And on the same note, you can even jump into the Kumakaje from Tops Knives. Okay, so this is it's a short sword, honestly, but I mean, you sit here and you kind of put these up side by side. They're almost identically the same height. Obviously, you're getting a wider blade with the Tops Kumakaje than you are with the Gallantry, but you're definitely getting a little bit more weight with the Kumakaje as well, because there is a slight thickness difference between the two blades. I know it's going to be a little bit hard to show that off, but you're getting a little bit of a thicker blade here with the Kumakaje. So the Kumakaje, you got your edge here. It's starting to widen out as you come down to the body. This is a full tang. They're both full tang knives. You can get a two-handed grip on both of these if you need it to. So there's a two-handed grip on the Kumakaje. You can come down here and get a two-handed grip here. So I guess depending on your usage and your needs, it might depend on which one of these you would choose. They're both great blades. They both chop the crap out of stuff. It's just you're getting a little bit lighter here, a little bit heavier here. So take that into consideration. I'd be hard pressed to pick one or the other because I think they both have their own. That weight, I think, is just going to be the deciding factor. They both chop hella good. I know that's not really a word, but I really like them both. So it's just a matter of, okay, which one, do you need to recover quickly from your chops? Then you might want to go with Gallantry. If you want to get that super power hit on, bam, I would say go with the Kumakaje. One thing, obviously you have tip differences. This one goes forward. This one has more like of a belly. I mean, this is a nice sweet spot right here. When you're chopping, you get in there and hit that tree branch right in this area. I mean, you're digging it deep. So that's definitely something to consider. This has a more traditional handle, where this has that more Filipino fighting style handle. I think it's Filipino. I could be wrong. If I am, sorry, Jason over there and Ruben. But maybe you don't like this big hump. I don't know. It's up to you. I really like them both. So, but I did want to show those both off to you if you're in the market for something this size, something to consider. So you kind of get an idea of what those both look like next to each other. Obviously, the Kumakaji is available from Tops Knives, so you can find one. If you're going to Blade Show Atlanta here coming up, June 7th, 8th, and 9th, you might be able to pick one up there. The gallantry is available through the Survival University only. You have to go to their website to purchase this bad boy, so keep that in mind. But this is made by Condor Tool and Knife. Go check out my review on it. So there's two kind of bigger options than what your traditional bigger choppers are. This guy kind of falls into a unique realm in the fact that this was kind of custom. This is the first of its kind. Now, since this one's been made, there's been another one made. But this is the Ghost XL from North Edge Tools. So North Edge Tools over there, he makes this really cool like 4-inch EDC version of this Tonto style blade. He kind of pitched, somebody pitched an XL version I did to him, and then they kind of never said anything. And I said, you know what, bro, if you make that, I'll buy it. And he made me one, and dude, this thing is fun, man. It's just it's a really quick, fast little, like skinny, thin, machete type chopper, right? So it's kind of weird because it's like longer than some of these other choppers are, but it's so much more thinner, but it's still tough. You can still baton with it. I mean, it's a sweet, sweet blade. So, I mean, if you're looking for something that's quick, fast, easy to carry, like out backpacking, hiking, you know, something to consider, you know, hit up Dustin over there at North Edge Tools. Say, hey, man, give me one of those Ghost XLs, you know. So, something to consider. Very cool blade. I got a full review on that as well. Like I said, almost all of these I have full reviews on. So now as we start getting into a lot of, well, let me see. Let's jump in here. So, let's talk about the Brush Wolf from Tops Knives. The Hootin' Era boys, Nate and Aaron Morgan over there, designed this bad boy. Now, this is one of those ones that falls into a little bit of a weird category in that it's smaller than almost all these other blades, but this thing still chops kind of above its weight class, if you will. This is kind of a do-it-all camp survival knife, and I tell you, this is the one I haven't done a video on, and I'm sorry, Nate and Aaron, I don't know why I haven't done one on it, but as you could see, looking at my blade, I used the shit out of it. This thing is just a fantastic, fun, kind of do-it-all camp survival knife, but because of the way they designed this big belly and this handle, you can definitely get back here and you could do some pretty damn good chopping with it for its size. So it's a little bit of a in-between, like your standard, like maybe Steel Eagle or Operator 7 type knife or whatever, but not quite as big as, like, say, this Wild Brush from Condor, or, you know, Elete from Tops or whatever. So this is a very cool, good all-around blade. Like I said, I've used it. I've batoned with it quite a bit. I know there's that whole controversy of batoning. We might get into that. I don't know. But I batoned the shit out of this knife, and it hasn't broke. I haven't bent it. Now, some people say with this little sharpening tool down here, I might have created microfractures that I don't know about. If I did, I did. And when it comes to that point, it breaks, then it breaks. That's on me. I'll deal with that when I have to. Here's a nice, cool Kydex sheath that Aaron Morgan makes for him. I mean, definitely hit these guys up. They're going to be over at Blade Show in Atlanta as well. And they're going to have some of these available. And they're also going to have their other design available, which we might as well jump into since we're talking about them. And this is a Solidago. So this is like a parang style machete. Heavy brush machete, if you will, because it's not as thin as a machete. It's a little bit thicker, but check this thing out right here, guys. This thing's got this nice, cool belly sweep to it. Extra long handle. I could pretty much get almost a two-handed grip on here, so I could choke way up to do some quick fine chopping. I can choke all the way back on it to give it a little bit more extra whip. You got a 90-degree spine on here for throwing sparks. You got some jimping up here, so you can do some draw knife work if you want. But I mean, dude, this thing is super cool. I mean, it goes really well with, you know, your Brush Wolf here, so you get a little bit a bigger blade. They kind of mix and match, go together really well. This is made by Tops Knives, but it is sold exclusively through Hootin' Era Outdoors. I always try to say that right because I used to say it wrong all the time, and I might still be saying it wrong. I probably am. Sorry, Nate. Love you guys. But man, this is a sheath that comes with a nice leather sheath that they make. I mean, this thing is really cool. Now, if you want to compare this up to, okay, well, what's this compared to, Jason? Talk to me, brother. Show me what this compares to. I'm like, okay. Let's take a look at this Wild Brush from Condor Tool and Knife. This is designed by Julio Diaz, made by Condor. This is a kukri, obviously, so I know they're two different blade shapes, but if you hold them up to each other, you're almost getting, I would say the wild brush is just a little bit longer. Hold them up. You're getting also a little bit thicker blade with the wild brush. Thicker handle for sure as well. So if we kind of hold those up to each other, you can definitely see there's a handle size difference. So if you're a big boy with big meaty palms, wild brush might be a good choice for you. If you want something a little bit quicker, lighter, thinner, definitely take a look at the Solidago. I mean, you're going to be able to do some damn good. And both of these cut like champs. I know I'm going to, you know what, I'm probably going to tell you, I'm actually looking at my table, I'm going to tell you about all these blades. All of these things actually cut very well, and I have the proof. Check out my other videos on them, but check these. I mean, I just wanted to kind of, let's just talk big blades and kind of show you some comparisons and different things. Maybe you're looking, like I said, maybe you're looking for something. So the Solidago, solid entry into the heavy chopper line, if you will. Even though it's a lighter chopper, it's still definitely a nice contender. And then this wild brush, man, this thing just, whew, man, this thing beats into wood, man. This thing is a nasty, nasty chopper. I don't believe these might be available from Condor. I have to double check their website. The last time I checked, these weren't available yet. But man, if you can get yourself, if you like kukris and you like heavy duty chopping kukris, man, this wild brush from Julio Diaz is definitely one to look at, because this thing is a beast. You know, it comes with this nice Kydex sheath. If I could put it back in there, right? Oh, there it goes. It's got this nice Kydex sheath with a belt dangler, or you can belt loop it. It's got this kind of open back design. Snap this shut, secures it in there. Very, very well made. And then, like I said, man, that thing is a massive chopper. Now let's get into some, let's go a little bit, now I want to say smaller choppers. These two right here are a conundrum, and in the fact that this is a Gen 1 and Gen 2 carnivore from Work Tough Gear, both designed by Eric Outer of Outer Limitless. Awesome guy. If you guys haven't checked out Eric's channel, go check him out. This knife falls into a kind of a weird category for me in the fact that it's a little bit longer than some of your standard size. When I say standard size blade, I mean, I would say large blades. Okay, these are all kind of extra large blades, I would say. These are both identical. There's some slight differences to them, for sure. They're really kind of hard to notice at first. If you go back and watch my Gen 1, Gen 2 videos, I can kind of go over that a little bit better. But this thing is a longer blade than, say, an Operator 7 and stuff like that. But you can come in here and definitely do some cool chops with it. It's, like I said, a little bit longer blade. Is it in the category of some of these other ones? Not quite, but it's also not quite in the category of the large. It's like almost an in-between, a hybrid, if you will. And it's definitely something to look at if you're looking for something that's maybe, like I said, a little bit bigger than a large, but maybe not quite as big as an XL size blade. The Carnivore from Work Tough Gear might be a really good option to look at. Again, I got videos on these. I'm going to probably say it a few times. If you're still with me on this, you know, I got videos on these. But the Carnivore is definitely one to look at as well from Work Tough Gear. If you're in the market for something that's maybe not quite as big. Okay, so we start jumping into the bigger blades. I like to compare, trying to size up some of these things so they're like in similar categories. And then, so when you jump into something like the Puzon Predator Hunter, I mean, look at this Bama Jamma, man. Look at this big boy right here. I mean, this is something that the dude in Predator, when he was standing on the log, this is what he should have had when he cut his chest. You know what I mean? Movie quote, by the way. You know, don't flag me, YouTube. But man, this thing is, I mean, there's a reason why they called it the Predator Hunter. Dave Puzon designed this over there at Work Tough. You know, he designed this for Work Tough Gear. I mean, this thing is just a big beast of a blade. But what do I compare this to? So I think what I'm going to come in and compare this with is the Warhammer from Work Tough Gear. This thing is a phenomenal chopper as well, but thinking, well, no, I was wrong. I mean, the Puzon Predator Hunter is definitely a taller blade, as you can see there. Definitely got a wider blade as well. Until you get to the tip on the Warhammer here. But man, these things are both wicked. You're definitely getting a little bit more mass with the Predator Hunter than you are with a Warhammer. But I mean, you could come in and, I mean, you could do some work with both of these. I mean, they're both fantastic blades. They're both super fun. This thing, I cleaved a whole chicken in half clean with one swing. And when I say chicken, I mean a fryer chicken that I bought at the grocery store, guys. A zombie fryer chicken. And this thing is still sharp as heck, man. I haven't even done anything to the edge after I did my video. I mean, it's just quick, fast. I really like both these blades. They're just super fun. Both come with Kydex sheaths. You know, blades these size too, guys, I would say definitely are. Can you belt carry them? Yeah, but I honestly would say these are way better for baldric carry. Baldric carry is definitely going to be, I think, the way to go with these blades, because if you're traipsing around the woods, you don't want this big old heavy blade smacking you on the thigh all day, you know, because then eventually you're going to get bruised. So I would definitely say baldric carry is the way to go. It's like right here, this Apex from Julio Diaz and Work Tough Gear, I got it set up for baldric carry. Kind of just throw it over your shoulder, slip through, it kind of carries right here. You can adjust your strap to where it's crossbody, if you will. You can slide it around to your back, you know, and it just makes it easy to carry all day. Take that off. But the reason why I'm pulling the Apex out is this is probably a little bit more size comparable than the Warhammer. Actually, as I was looking at it, two totally different blade shapes for sure. I mean, as you can see there, but weight-wise, thickness-wise, size-wise, even handle-wise, you're getting pretty close to each other. Two totally different blade shapes, though. You get more of a parang, piratey size blade. I don't know why. This thing reminds me of something a pirate would carry. And I love it, man. It's just super cool. And man, when you come down, you got this big old belly right here. That chop, pow, it gets in it. But man, this thing is just, the Predator Hunter though, it's just, whew, it's a Predator Hunter, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, I think it's awesome. But this is, both of these will work good for heavy brush if you're out, you know, like I said, cutting some briar or thorns or anything like that. Definitely going to be able to get that stuff done with these. Both come with Kydex sheaths. Again, I would baldric carry them. Probably be your best option for a lot of these. But yeah, they're both fantastic blades. I actually probably need to redo my Predator Hunter video. Since I've been doing these videos, some of my earlier ones I've been thinking about redoing, since I kind of learned a little bit more and got my skills have gotten a little bit better. I'm still just a big old boy out here just swinging stuff for fun, but I feel like I could probably do that Predator Hunter video a little bit more justice by redoing it. So yeah, I think that's something I'm going to work on this summer, so stay tuned for that. You can also jump, now next you're going to jump into the mighty Elete from Tops Knives, man. So this thing is just legendary. It's just, Leo over there designed this thing to be a chopper, and a chopper is what it is. I mean, it's just tough as shit. I mean, it's super, I mean, it's got a nice thick spine that tapers down nicely, so when you're chopping through stuff, it bites deep, it splits wood really well, and it's just a phenomenal chopper. But it does have some weight to it. And so if you were looking for something that's maybe a little bit lighter, but still gonna get fantastic chopping, honestly, the other good option here is the Tops Knife Storm Vector. This sucker is just a wicked chopper as well. So you jump in, you see these two, stand them up. You're getting a little bit, you're definitely getting more of a tip with the Storm Vector than you are with Elete. Just a little bit longer blade, but you're getting a lighter blade with the Storm Vector than you are with Elete. Handle-wise, you're getting a little bit more of a, let's say, handles are different. I can't explain it really, but I think I would say you're getting a little bit more of a rounded, thicker handle with the Storm Vector than you are with Elete. Oh, neighbors are out back. But both of these are just wicked, and I think you can't go wrong with either one of these as well. And my dog's barking, sorry. I think if you were to choose between these two, it would be a weight issue. Do you want something a little bit heavier, or do you want something a little bit lighter? That's honestly the biggest takeaway. I could wholeheartedly recommend that either one of these two blades. My only question to you is, do you want something heavier or want something lighter? both are nasty, nasty choppers though, and I really like them both. I think that's ultimately when with these bigger blades, these big giant choppers. I think that all of these ones that I'm showing you here on the table, I think are great. I think ultimately what it's going to come down to is user preference and user, like, what is it you're looking to do with the blade? Because obviously some of these are going to be a little bit better at chopping certain things than others, I would say. Like the Storm Vector is going to be really good at chopping. Ruger, knock it off. Sorry. It's going to be a little bit better at chopping smaller, thinner branches quicker. You know, you're going to be able to, if you got to chop a lot, you know, it's going to be a little bit lighter. If you got to really do some heavy work, I would definitely look at a heavier blade, because even though it's going to be heavier, it's going to do more damage coming into the whatever it is you're cutting, and you might be able to cut through thicker stuff faster. So I could be wrong on that. It's, you know, I'm like I said, I'm no professional. Let's take a look at a new one here. This is from Work Tough Gear. I just recently did a video on it, the Bear Claw. Okay, so this thing is designed by Aurora Borealis knives. I know I probably screwed that up. Very, very cool blade. It's a thicker, kind of Bowie-ish style blade, if you will. I want to say it's a Bowie, but it's like some sort of a hybrid. That's what I feel anyway. I could be wrong. Aurora Borealis, if I am wrong on that, please forgive me. It's just kind of a personal opinion. I was like trying to, it's like a drop point, but it's big, it's wide, and so it makes me think of a Bowie, but it's not quite a Bowie. But this V44X Raider from Work Tough Gear is a Bowie, and so they're definitely different, but holding these two up together, if you check them out, I mean, they're definitely getting a little bit more tip and longer tip of a blade on the V44X. Both are widely different style blades, but both of these have fantastic ergonomics. They both feel great in the hand. Sitting here holding them side by side, I would say they're relatively close in weight. I almost want to say the Bear Claw has just a little bit more weight than the V44X. Spec-wise, I could be wrong. It's just a personal feeling, the way they feel in the hand. But man, both of them are super fun. They feel great. And again, these are big enough and thick enough that if you had to do some batoning with them, you could. If you had to do some heavier chopping with them, you could. If you had to do some lighter chopping with them, it's going to be able to handle it. And with these big old finger choils, you can get in there and you can do nice fine work with them, no problem. They're both super cool blades. I really like them both. So it's just something to consider, options to look at. Another Work Tough Gear blade. Well, here, let me actually throw this one in here. This is something that I designed, and JS Knife Works made it for me. I don't really have a name for it, but it's a, you know, it's a wicked nasty looking chopper. And this bad boy is loosely based off of a smaller 4-inch blade that I have done as well. Scott over at Carnivores Cutlery just recently did a whole video with this knife, showing it, you know, putting it to work. Now I know a lot of people are questioning, okay, well, what's these two notches here for? They weren't necessarily put there for anything, a certain specific reason. It was kind of an aesthetic look, but it's not a sawtooth by any means. But if you had to pick a pot off the fire, you could do that easily. If you had to put some cordage in here to kind of strip it, you could do that. If you had to poke a zombie grizzly and pull some of the zombie grizzly entrails out to make sure that it was a zombie, it could hook and possibly do that. I don't know, I've never tried it, or, you know, but I think it just gave it a cool look. Just something a little different. Some people said that to get rid of it. Some people like it. It's just personal preference, but I mean, I just thought it kind of gave it a nice wicked looking look to it. But you know, you take this V44X. The reason why I bought this out is because size comparison wise, I mean, definitely getting a longer blade with this bad boy, but you know, you can kind of compare these up next to each other. I would put them in the, well, this is definitely longer than this one, but but it was just one of those things. I thought, well, they make a good comparison. You know, let's pull the Warhammer out and see, compare the Warhammer to that. There you go, about the same same length, but I think you're, with this one, with the one I designed, you're getting more blade edge. If you could tell, because the blade comes all the way down to here, to the tip, and then you look, you get the blade up here, up to there. If you can, you guys see, kind of know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of one of the things I like about this little swoop in here, is it gets your hand up in here, but it also still gives you a little bit more edge to work with. But I don't know. I'm not a professional, man. I just kind of draw stuff up that I think looks cool, and if it looks good and works good, then hey, maybe I did something right. I don't know. But go check out Scott's video on that blade if you want to see it in action. I don't know, I just like it. But anyway, so you got that bad boy right there. Got those, you can compare those up to each other. Nice B44X, Work Tough gear, Bear Claw, Work Tough gear. If you guys, again, I'm going to bring up Blade Show because it is May 30th right now, and Blade Show is coming up June 7th, 8th, and 9th, I think it is. Work Tough gear is going to be there. They're probably, I don't know if they're going to have all of these blades available, but some, I know the Bear Claw, I believe, is going to be available. If you're looking at any of these Work Tough blades, some of these might be there. If you're there and you're looking at one of these, definitely pick it up, because Work Tough gear blades sell out very quickly. One, because they're awesome, and two, they're badass, and three, they hold up hella good. So if you were looking for a Work Tough gear blade and they have it there, I would definitely suggest buying it while you're there. Same goes with any of the stuff that I've shown you today. Tops Knives is going to be at Blade Show. If there's something that you've been looking for, it's sold out everywhere, they might have it there. Pick it up while you can, because if you walk away and you come back later, there's no guarantee that it's going to be there. Swing by Hootnair Outdoors. They're going to be at Blade Show. They're going to have the Solidago, the Brush Whip. They're going to have their new Kermit little knife. They got a newer one, another little.
Tough Gear is a brand that manufactures knives and other outdoor gear.
Hey, that's weird.
They are known for their durable and affordable products.
Somehow I got my AI to listen to me. Kicked on. So anyway, they're going to have one of their newer knives there as well. So definitely go by and check out Hootnair Outdoors. Say what's up to Nate and Aaron. Tell them I told you to stop by. And that's going to bring me to one of my last big chopper blades here. And this is the Work Tough Gear Hemlock Aries. Now, guys, this is I originally had the prototype model, and it's kind of a long story, but I gave it back to DB Hemlock because he wanted to get it out there to some other people. And so I said, dude, that's cool. I'm going to definitely pick up the first production run, which I did. And I got the Tiger Stripe. So this is the first production run of the Aries. This is SK85. They are, believe, doing one in K390 Bowler or something like that. Anyway, they have a newer steel version of this coming out, which there should be some of those available at Blade Show, I think. But we're going to jump into that topic of batoning. Now, a lot of people will say, you know, you shouldn't baton with a knife. Like, and you're right. There's definitely better tools out there for splitting wood than a knife, right? The reason I show batoning a knife on my channel is, quiet. Sorry, my dog's barking again. The reason I show batoning knives on my channel is not necessarily because I think it's the greatest thing in the world to do. It's one of those things where it's like, you might get stuck out somewhere where you don't have your hatchet or your axe or your silky saw or whatever. Like you weren't planning on getting stuck. You were just out doing something, whatever. Maybe you and your boys are hanging out and you guys decide to take a drive up the old, Jeep trail, and you didn't think about bringing that stuff, but maybe you have one of your bigger choppers on you, or maybe even some of your smaller or larger knives, large knife or whatever, and you get stuck, something happens, whatever, right? It's nice to know that even though you probably shouldn't baton with your knife, it's nice to know that you can do it, okay? I'm not saying you're going to go out and baton, wood all day, every day with your knife. If, like I said, there's other tools for that you can use. But it is nice to know that if you have to use your knife to baton with, you can. Okay? If I'm ever batoning with a knife and it breaks, then I'm going to tell you, hey, don't baton with this knife, because this one just will not handle that type of pressure. This bad boy right here, the Hemlock Aries, is on another level, though. This thing was literally designed to baton wood with. DB Hemlock was like always hearing like you shouldn't baton with a knife. It's not meant for that, blah, blah, blah. He designed a knife that you could baton wood with, and you can. This thing is a freaking tank of a blade. You could beat the holy tar out of this thing, baton through all sorts of wood, and it's just going to hold up because that's what it was designed to do. So if somebody says you should never baton with a knife, I'm going to go take this and go baton the shit with it, and you're going to realize that you can baton with a knife that's designed to baton with. So that's a caveat there, right? That's what this sucker was made for. I mean, it is an absolute beast. Either you love him or you hate him, but Joe X did a whole video. He could not break this thing. Like it took him all the way to doing some really extreme stuff to finally break the hemlock areas that he had. So this thing is an absolute beast. If you're looking for something that you know you can beat the tar out of, splitting wood, batoning wood if you have to, but you don't want something as big as an axe or whatever, definitely look at the hemlock aries. This thing is a monster. Now in the second generations, they did reprofile the edge bevel and stuff to make it a little bit more slicier, because this does have a pretty thick edge, but it's still a beast of a knife. It didn't really change the performance of it. You know, it only improved the performance of it, I would say. But there are caveats to some of this stuff, guys and gals. Like, there are blades that you can baton with, and this is one of them. Okay, I've batoned with just about every one of these, and they didn't break. They've held up. Again, am I going to do it all day, every day? No. It's situation. It's going to dictate what you do. What do you have on hand? Where are you at? What do you need it for? I mean, what are you going to... There's just a whole myriad of things that are involved with what it is you're going to do with your knife, right? So take that into consideration. I know, like I said, a lot of people are going to say, like, you know, you shouldn't do it. You're right. Maybe you shouldn't. But it's nice to know that you can if you have to. So that's my caveat on that. Take it for what you will. Like I said, am I going to be doing it all the time with all these blades? No, but if I'm stuck and I'm in a situation, damn right I'm going to do it, because I've done it already and I know it can handle it. Like, again, so that's just my opinion on it. Take it, you know, I don't know. Hey, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. You know, do you think it is okay to baton with a knife? Do you think it's not okay? Do you think does the situation dictate it? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. So please sound off in the comments. So there it is, guys. Those are pretty much all my big choppers. Now, it's very difficult. I wish I could sit here and take each and every one and side by side compare. We'd be here for like 18 hours, right? I mean, there's so many of these blades. It's hard to compare everything next to everything. I wish I could do that. It's really difficult to do. But I just wanted to show you some of these bigger blades, kind of give you an idea of like their sizes, you know, maybe their capabilities. Some of them are better, I think, more suited for heavier brush, heavier cutting. Some of them are lighter brush, lighter cutting. But you could definitely cut both either way. So I might be rambling now, so it might be a sign for me to go ahead and end this video. But again, cheers. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'm going to be busting out my large blades. I'm going to be doing another large. I'm going to bust out all my kind of, when I say large blade, I would say, you know, we're talking 5 to 7 inches, maybe somewhere in that size range. And then we're going to do like kind of some EDC style stuff, or we're going to do like some 4 to 5 inch blades, you know. And then we'll do another video of just a bunch of, you know, kind of 3-inch and under EDC. There are some little caveats. There's some blades that are a little oddly sized that will kind of fit both niches, but I'm going to be working on some more of those videos like that to show them off to you guys and let you see some different blades that are out there, and I'm going to kind of show you a lot of what I got. So thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, stay sharp. Go get you a big ass chopper if you're going to blade, and make sure you stop by all these guys and tell them hi. Stop by Tops, stop by Hoot and Air, stop by Work Tough Gear, stop by all of them, man. Go say hi to all these knife makers and tell them what's up. Tell them thank you for the products that they make, and, you know, support your local, not your favorite local knife guy, right? All right, stay safe, stay sharp. We'll see you next time.